Hello! Welcome to Talk Emma Learn English. Here, we learn English by talking, listening, and practicing together.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. We are so happy to see you again.
Today's episode is going to be a little different, a little deeper, and maybe a little uncomfortable too.
Uncomfortable? That sounds serious.
Yes, because today we are talking about something many people don't like to hear. Don't waste your time.
I think everyone has heard this line before, but not everyone understands it.
Exactly. People say it like advice, but they don't really explain what it means.
So today, we're not just going to say it, we're going to understand it, because learning English is an art.
Yes, and also learn how to stay focused in a world full of distractions.
Before we go deeper, a quick request. If this podcast helps you even a little, make sure you follow and share it with someone who needs this message today.
Because honestly, this is not just an English lesson. This is a life lesson.
All right, Emma, let me ask you something simple.
Go ahead.
Do you think people really waste their time, or they just don't realize it?
That's a powerful question. I think most people don't realize it.
Explain that.
Because wasting time doesn't always look like doing nothing. Sometimes it looks like scrolling for hours, watching random videos, overthinking small things, waiting for the perfect time.
Wow, that sounds like real life.
Exactly. And the problem is, it feels normal.
So people don't even feel guilty.
Yes, because everyone around them is doing the same thing.
That's dangerous.
Very dangerous. Because slowly, time passes. Days pass. Months pass. Years pass.
And then one day people say, "Where did my time go?"
Exactly.
So what is the real meaning of don't waste your time?
It means be aware of how you are living your life. Use your time for things that matter.
That sounds simple, but not easy.
Yes, because distractions are everywhere.
Let's talk about focus.
Good idea. Why is it so hard to stay focused today?
Because our attention is always under attack. Phones, social media, notifications, noise.
So focus is not natural anymore. It's a skill.
Exactly. Let's make it practical.
Okay.
Imagine someone wants to improve English.
Yes.
They start learning, but after 5 minutes, they check their phone.
Then they open social media.
Then one video.
Then another video.
And suddenly, 1 hour is gone.
That is the perfect example of wasted time.
Not because they were lazy, but because they lost focus.
Exactly.
So the real problem is not time, it's attention.
Yes. Where your attention goes, your life goes.
That's powerful.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Do you think successful people have more time?
No, they have the same 24 hours.
Exactly. The difference is how they use it.
So they don't waste time, they invest it.
Perfect word. Invest time in learning, in growing, in building something meaningful.
Yes. Now I'm thinking.
What?
Maybe wasting time is not always obvious.
Yes, sometimes it's hidden.
Like avoiding difficult tasks.
Or staying in comfort zones.
Or waiting for motivation.
Exactly.
So how can someone stop wasting time?
We'll go deeper in the next part. But one simple step is start small, but start now.
Not tomorrow, not later, now.
Yes, because the truth is, time doesn't wait. And that's the part many people ignore. Time is always moving, whether you use it well or waste it.
That sounds a little scary.
It should be, but in a good way. Because once you understand this, you start respecting your time.
Respecting time. I like that.
Yes. Think about it this way. If someone wastes your time, you feel bad, right?
Yes, of course.
But when you waste your own time, you don't even notice.
That's true, and a little painful to realize.
Because we don't see time like money, but actually, time is more valuable than money.
Because you can earn money again, but not time.
Exactly.
So the real question is, why do people still waste it?
There are a few big reasons.
Let's talk about them one by one.
First, lack of clarity.
Meaning,
People don't know what they really want, so they just go with the flow without direction.
so when you don't have a goal, everything feels okay.
Yes, even wasting time feels normal.
That makes sense.
Third, reason fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of starting.
So instead of trying, people avoid.
Yes, they stay busy doing small, easy things, but avoid the important things.
That's powerful.
Third, reason comfort.
Ah, the comfort zone.
Yes, it feels safe, easy, relaxing, but it also keeps you stuck.
Exactly. So wasting time is not always laziness.
It's often a combination of confusion, fear, and comfort.
Now this is getting deeper.
Yes, because if we don't understand the reason, we cannot fix the problem.
So how do we fix it?
Let's start with something simple but powerful. Awareness.
Meaning,
Notice how you spend your time. Without judging, just observe.
like tracking your day.
Yes,
For example, I spent 2 hours on my phone. I spent 10 minutes learning something useful.
exactly.
That can be shocking.
Yes, but also eye-opening.
What's next?
Priorities.
Choosing what really matters.
Yes, because if everything is important, nothing is important.
So we must decide what deserves our time.
Exactly.
Let's make it practical again.
Okay.
If someone wants to improve English,
Yes.
they should make it a priority.
Yes. Even 20 minutes daily is enough, if focused.
But the key word is focused.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about habits.
Very important.
Because one day of focus is easy, but consistency is hard.
Yes. And success comes from habits, not motivation.
Let's explain that.
Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel excited, some days you don't.
But habits stay.
Yes. When something becomes a habit, you do it without thinking.
Like brushing your teeth.
Exactly.
So we should build habits for learning and growth.
Yes.
But how?
Start small.
Very small.
Yes. Don't say, I will study 3 hours every day.
That sounds overwhelming.
Instead say, I will study 10 minutes daily.
That feels easy.
And consistency matters more than intensity.
That's a powerful line.
Because small steps, repeated daily, create big change.
Now I understand something.
What?
Wasting time is not just about big mistakes.
It's about small daily choices.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about something real.
Okay.
Procrastination. The biggest enemy of time.
Why do people delay things?
Because they feel uncomfortable.
So they avoid the task,
Yes, and choose something easier.
like checking their phone.
Exactly.
So how do we fight procrastination?
Simple rule. Start before you feel ready.
That's powerful.
Because waiting for perfect mood never works.
So action creates motivation, not the opposite.
Exactly.
Let's try a real-life example.
Okay, someone wants to speak English confidently,
Yes,
but they feel shy.
so they delay practice.
Yes,
But if they start speaking, even with mistakes,
confidence will grow.
exactly.
So starting is the hardest part.
Yes, but also the most important. Now I want to ask something.
Go ahead. What is one mindset shift that can change everything?
Good question. Think long-term.
Meaning, don't just think about today, think about your future.
So every small action matters.
Yes, every day is building your future life.
That's deep.
Let me say something powerful. The life you want is built by the time you use today.
That line hits hard.
Because it's true.
Now I feel like this is not just about time.
It's about life. We'll talk about focus, discipline, and real transformation, and also break down important vocabulary from this episode so learners can use it in real life.
That's going to be very helpful, and honestly, I think many people don't realize how serious this is.
Exactly. They think they have plenty of time, but time is quietly moving.
And one day they look back and realize nothing really changed.
That's the painful truth.
So how do we change that?
By becoming intentional.
Intentional. I like that word.
It means you don't live randomly, you choose how you live.
So instead of reacting to life, you design your life.
Exactly.
Let's make this practical again.
Okay. What does an intentional day look like?
Simple. You wake up, you know your priority, you focus on one important thing, you avoid distractions.
That sounds peaceful.
Yes, because clarity removes stress.
Now I understand something important.
What?
Focus is not about doing many things, it's about doing the right things.
Exactly.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
What is one thing that people often do but regret later?
Delaying their goals.
Yes,
Like saying, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do it later.
but later becomes never.
That's so true.
Here's something powerful. The cost of wasting time is invisible but very real.
Invisible?
Yes, you don't see it immediately, but slowly it takes away your potential.
That's deep.
It takes away your growth, your opportunities, your future.
So every wasted hour has a hidden cost.
Exactly.
Now I feel like this is a wake-up call.
It should be.
So what's the solution?
Discipline.
The difficult word.
Yes, but also the most powerful one.
Explain it simply.
Discipline means doing what is important even when you don't feel like it.
So not depending on mood.
Exactly.
That's hard, but necessary.
Yes, because feelings change, but discipline stays.
Let's connect everything.
Okay.
If someone wants success,
Yes.
they need focus
And discipline.
and awareness,
Exactly.
and they must stop wasting time.
Yes.
Even small improvements daily.
Create big results over time.
Now, I want to say something to our listeners.
Go ahead.
You don't need to change your whole life today.
Just start with one step,
One focused hour.
one meaningful action.
One decision to not waste time.
That's enough to begin.
And slowly, your life will change.
Yes, because change is built daily.
Now, I feel like this episode is not just about English.
It's about becoming a better version of yourself.
Exactly.
And maybe that's the most important lesson.
Before we end, let's slow things down a little.
Yes, and look at some important words and phrases we used today. So now let's take a moment to understand some key words and phrases from today's episode, because this topic gave us powerful vocabulary about time, focus, discipline, and life choices.
Yes, and learning these words will help you express your thoughts more clearly and confidently.
Let's start with an important word, intentional.
Intentional means doing something with purpose, not by accident.
For example, she is living an intentional life, focused on her goals. Or, being intentional with your time can change your future. Repeat, intentional.
Next, distraction. A distraction is something that takes your attention away from what you should be doing.
For example, social media is a big distraction for many people. Or, he turned off his phone to avoid distractions. Repeat, distraction.
Next, discipline. Discipline means controlling yourself and doing what is important, even when it is difficult.
For example, success requires discipline and consistency. Or, she showed discipline by practicing every day. Repeat, discipline.
Next phrase, waste time. To waste time means to use time in an unproductive or meaningless way.
For example, he wasted hours watching random videos. Or, don't waste your time on things that don't matter. Repeat, waste time.
Next, focus. Focus means giving full attention to something.
For example, she is focused on her studies. Or, if you focus, you can achieve more in less time. Repeat, focus.
Next, phrase, comfort zone. Comfort zone is a situation where you feel safe, but you are not growing.
For example, he stayed in his comfort zone and avoided challenges. Or, growth begins when you leave your comfort zone. Repeat, comfort zone.
Next, procrastination. Procrastination means delaying or postponing something.
For example, procrastination stops people from achieving their goals. Or, she overcame procrastination by starting small. Repeat, procrastination.
Next, take action. To take action means to start doing something instead of just thinking about it.
For example, success begins when you take action. Or, he stopped thinking and finally took action. Repeat, take action.
Next, priority. Priority means something that is more important than other things.
For example, learning English is her top priority. Or, you should focus on your main priorities first. Repeat, priority.
And finally, consistency. Consistency means doing something regularly over time.
For example, consistency is the key to success. Or, small efforts with consistency create big results. Repeat, consistency. And those were the key words and phrases from today's episode.
Yes, and together they describe something very important: how to stop wasting time and start building a meaningful life.
Exactly. And maybe the real value of today's episode is not just learning English,
but understanding how to use your time better.
So let's leave you with one simple question. What are you doing with your time today?
And one small challenge: take one action right after this.
Because your future is built by what you do now.